You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beards talking, balls rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Batter Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. Free 99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, there on the back. Welcome everybody to episode number 334 of the Battle Heroes Podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, I got Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I would have rather seen the squad that we fantasized for.
Well, I mean, I think people would have been more accepting of a 1-1 draw if we would have gotten the B squad. But I told you we were going to get the A squad with a change here or there. I told you Messi was going to start. And if he starts, you know he's running out there 90. I didn't expect Obando to be ready to go, but that was cool to see him.
That was unexpected as well.
Yeah, that was cool. And I didn't expect to see Drake. Honestly, I really didn't, because I figured that there might be some rotation. I didn't think that Uftari resting for Drake was going to be one of them, but Drake got in there, which is always cool to see. I mean, it's a draw. If you compare it to last year, at this point where we were last year and this year, the only difference is that we had a bad game against Montreal, kind of like we had this game with Toronto, right? A Canadian team. Yeah. And they scored late. They beat us 3-2. In this one, we were able to stay, kind of like hold off that, because they looked like they might score at the end. And we were able to hold them off, because if they would have scored, we would be at the same exact place that we were last year.
Yeah.
Down one game going into the second leg against Monterrey in the Champions Cup. Only one loss against a Canadian team. Like, we would be almost in the same exact place they were last year with a better team this year. Messi actually played in this Canadian game, unlike the Montreal game last year where we lost and he didn't play. So, like, I feel like there's parallels between the two seasons, but we should be doing better this year. But I guess we'll stick to just talking about today's game.
Is it fair to say by Khalil Jr., Obando is the most useless footballer I've ever seen in my life? What a bum.
And no, I think it's way too early to say something like that.
Yeah.
You saw him for what? How long did he play?
Like 7 minutes. I mean, a little more than that, but
I'd say that it's a little too early to say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, there were general thoughts, right? If we're going to go through general thoughts, we played through Messi a lot, because why not? Messi is Messi. I felt like we worked it through the wings a little better than we did against LAFC. That's for sure.
Well, I will tell you that I thought Fafa was a lot more effective down the wings than Robert Taylor was in the first half.
Well, I mean, because Fafa plays better from the right than Taylor does.
Yeah, like, having Taylor out on the right was weird.
It's a waste. I'd rather have had Gressel there instead of Taylor.
Gressel's not getting on the pitch.
I know that, but I'm just telling you who I would prefer other than putting Taylor on the right, you know? I mean, there's a couple players that have had stinkers. DMX is saying, let's talk about that Robert Taylor stinker. There was a couple stinkers, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay. We can get into we're gonna get into all that, which is gonna be fun. I will tell you that as far as the Obando thing goes, I think it's wild to poop on him, but I will tell you that he missed a huge opportunity to really a couple minutes into the game. Could you imagine that? Like, oh, you're the guy that's going to be the backup to Suarez. You're the depth piece that we've been waiting for. And then he scores the game-winning goal. Huge missed opportunity by Obando. But that defender, I forgot his name.
He himself.
Well, the defender really did a good job of getting back into that play and kind of getting his body on him and getting the ball away from him. So I got to give some credit to the defender. But that would have been a great finish for Obando.
It would have.
But I'm not that disappointed with this game. I'm not.
Really?
I mean, we had two. We had two goals
against
called
the
back.
Worst team, tie versus Toronto.
You know, it's funny. It's funny because it's something I forgot to mention when we did the preview show for Toronto, because we took it as such a joke. But when we look at teams like Vancouver, for example, that everybody's really high on, right? And they beat Colorado this week, so that was a good win. But Vancouver has had a cupcake schedule so far this year. When you look at Toronto's schedule, they've played the top teams in the league. I'm not saying that they're good.
A lot of good teams.
I'm not saying that they're good. I'm just saying they're not as bad as maybe we're saying, because they've had a tough schedule to start the year. And they play us, and I think they play Philadelphia next week. Like, they've been like, that's a team that'll just randomly turn it around like middle of the season, and you'll be like, damn, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
But I mean, we should have scored at least 3.
They played a lot of very, very good teams. And I mean, it doesn't say too much because they are bad, but at the same time, maybe if they were to have played against better teams, it'd be, I mean, worse teams, they'd have a better outcome in the last couple.
And Solana's saying this game didn't matter. We are in April and 19s make the playoffs. Well, then Solana, stop watching the regular season. Don't watch the games. Because then what's the fun in it if that's the way you're going to – just don't watch the games. Just tune in October, Solana.
Yeah, I mean, they played against, just to give you a quick synopsis, Vancouver, the Red Bulls, Chicago, Cincinnati, Orlando, and DC United.
DC was the only
they tied
that they played, and they've tied. They scored 2 goals against them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they haven't had it easy either. So
yeah. But they haven't had anything. Again, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have won. They should have won. But when you look at how bad they've been, I mean, they've played against some good teams, so that can contribute to it. But they still should. Miami still should have won, definitely.
Oof.
And it wasn't huge rotation either.
No, there wasn't. I mean, obviously, we'll go through it more in the starting 11. When I'm saying I think Ustadi makes a save, I think Ustadi doesn't make a couple saves that Drake Callender did make today. Drake Callender was,
and I don't know. I don't think anybody makes that save. The way Bernadeschi kind of just broke down everybody, I don't think anybody, and the way he kind of with the outside of his left, I don't think anybody's making that save.
No way.
I don't think anybody's.
How was the atmosphere? How was the atmosphere of the game?
It was good. The stadium was popping. I was expecting like a lot less people because it's Sunday night. Everybody's talking about how it's not a big deal, and
it looked packed.
People didn't know if he was going to play or not. I thought that the stadium was great. The atmosphere was great. I had a good time. I had a really good time.
Wade County's saying it feels like a loss. Toronto had so many opportunities. We had
a lot of opportunities also, though. That's the thing. We had a lot of – Sean Johnson saved them. Sean Johnson had some great saves.
Yes,
in the first 10 minutes, he had 2 huge saves. So don't forget that Sean Johnson had some big-time saves also. And then I think it was Mascherano. I saw somewhere had said that this wasn't a must-win, but it's like when you lose, you want to get a get-right game right after, right? You don't want to be on a downhill spiral for a couple games. So he wanted this game, and Messi wanted it too. You saw Messi was balling from the start. He was going all out. It is what it is.
And this is Sean. I mean, much props. Every game from here on out is going to get tougher and tougher, like I said last episode. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, this was a game. The reason that this game is so disappointing is because Toronto's one of the worst teams. Everybody expected a 6-1 slapping, and we walked away with a 1-1 tie, which couldn't be any more of a victory for Toronto ever.
I feel like they feel like they missed out on a chance here or there, though.
I mean, but that's crazy.
Now, Sophia's asking how I got back so soon. I left early. Today's a school night. My son's in kindergarten. I went with my son today. So we left early, so I got back. I watched most of the second half driving back in the car. But it was fun. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun, though. Look, and then before we get into the actual game, and the starting 11, just to put out some stats there for you. I know we say that XG is silly, right? We go with the eye test, but just to put it out there. Expected goals, 2.63, almost 3 goals expected for us. Total shots for us, 23. Shots on target, 9. Like we had our chances. We were on there. And the thing is, was it you, somebody in the chat? Somebody said LAFC gave the league the blueprint. I don't think it's much of a blueprint, right? You play deep defensively. I wouldn't say what they were playing was a low block, but if you play deep defensively, you're gonna make it difficult for anybody to score. It's just what it is. And I felt like they were playing Toronto was playing very compact, right? Like they were making it almost impossible to do any link-up play in or anywhere near the top of the box, which is what Messi and Suarez live off of. And they were making it very difficult for that to happen. And I was kind of glad that I saw that they were still getting opportunities, because I felt like that's a good warm-up, right? Like we played against LAFC with the low block. Then today they had that compact, like they had numbers.
We played a
Messi,
JV version. JV version of that
defense, right? And so I feel like, okay, it didn't look good on Wednesday. Today, only scored 1 goal, but we had opportunities.
Yeah,
we're going to be ready when we come back on Wednesday. If anything, I feel even more confident going into this game on Wednesday. What sucks is that, like I've said a few times, that for everybody that thinks that it's an advantage to play at home the second game, we have to win by 2 goals or more.
Well,
so that really sucks.
And Sean's saying it's not just clogging up the middle; it's more than that. That's the groundwork for LAFC, and Toronto FC did it in 2 different ways, and we couldn't break either.
No, yeah, Toronto didn't play a low block. They didn't do the same thing that LAFC did.
No, they didn't clamp down like that.
But it was definitely when they did get back on defense and organize themselves, they were playing very compact. Like they gave you the wide areas, kind of like LAFC did.
Yeah, Toronto had their opportunities.
Yeah, Toronto did have their opportunities. So let's go to the starting 11 so we could discuss that right quick.
Nice and fancy starting 11 that Inter Miami put out with the whole imagery sort of playing and covering the stands. I'll go over it here.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it was super cool. We got Drake Callender playing in for goalie instead of Ustadi. You got Jordi Alba left back. Left center back is what's his face?
Lujan.
The name escapes me. Lujan. Aviles is the other center back. Ian Frey right back in the double pivot. You got Busquets and Redondo, and then Messi at the 10. Robert Taylor at the right wing. Right, and I hate when they put him. Segovia left wing, and then Luis Suarez at the top as your 9.
Suarez also had a big opportunity that he blew.
Yes, he did. No, the strikers overall didn't do that great this game.
They had opportunities.
Didn't do that great. Your job is to literally put the ball in the back of the net, and you didn't do that great of a job at it. The things I didn't like was Robert Taylor at the right wing. I think he's useless there. If you're going to put him at a wing, put him at the left wing. If not, don't even put him in, period. Put in Benkrem. I don't like this Redondo stuff. I don't like it unless Mascherano's saving.
You think he had a bad game?
I think at the beginning. I thought
he had a good game.
I think no, but he had a couple turnovers, critical turnovers.
In the second half?
In the first half, 17th minute, turned it over, almost got scored on.
17th minute. Do you think Busquets had a bad game? Because they scored on his turnover.
He didn't have the greatest game. I mean, when Bright came in, he was a game changer. And if any of you guys think that Bright didn't have a good game, you guys are drunk in the limited time that he had. Because there's people that are in the chat like, oh my God, Chris is glazing this and glazing that. Like, I'm telling you right now, Bright had a better game than these 2 guys.
Well, we figured that there was going to be rotation and that this was going to be one of the rotations, right? We said, because that's what they did last week with Philadelphia, right? They let Bright come off the bench and they give him some rest because they knew he was going to play against LAFC, and did the same thing today. I think Yannick Bright is the starter. It's just that when they're going to do this minimal rotation that they like to do, that's what they do.
I think, Danny, you need to rewatch this game because other than the first 10 minutes and maybe pieces here and there.
Yeah, I thought in the first half he had a good couple balls into the final third, yeah.
Listen, I give him a lot of credit for actually trying to strike the ball this time. In the second half, he actually tried to go for a slammer, a screamer, and it deflected off of Fafa. So, listen, Alex, what are you talking about? Bright was not great. Like, I can't understand this. He literally had 3 steals in one series of play. And I'm just checking here.
I'm checking here, and from what I'm seeing, Redondo only, and like you said, maybe he had some bad turnovers that maybe I missed because it was depending on the part of the field. but he only had 8 incomplete passes out of 87.
Well, I could tell you he turned the ball over 3 significant times in the game, where it literally turned it over and they just went on skates against us.
Okay.
So
Well,
I don't like the Redondo deal. I don't.
Okay.
I'm over it.
Okay, but that's going to happen when you have some rotation. Bright is the regular starter. You said you wanted some rotation, right? You got it.
I wanted all rotation.
Okay, but now you're complaining about the few rotations that you did get.
All right, but but the thing is with Redondo, there's a tricky thing happening there, Danny. There's a little tricky thing happening there. Okay, it's a familiarity with Mascherano. Like he's not performing great, and he's getting starts
because it's rotation.
Listen,
he's not starting on Wednesday.
Give me
you said you wanted
Ruiz,
rotation. You got it.
Give me Ben Krem. Give me Ben Krem. Give me Ben Krem. Don't give me this guy. Don't give me that guy. We got a super slam, Danny. Get out of here. Chris Jam. What? Chris Jam? What a spelling. With Redondo, we are cooked on Wednesday. I don't know about with Redondo, we're cooked on Wednesday. The thing is, Redondo's getting starts, and I just don't see how he's consistently good. Look, Pedri, I love when you get into this chat. These guys will glaze Bright for average performance and criticize Redondo for the same. If this isn't a bias, then I don't know what it is. I love Pedri commenters as much as you guys think that this guy's a hater. This is a very critical comment. I get it. But at the same time, like Pedri, if you've been watching the last 10 or so games of Inter Miami, like Bright is balling as a center defensive midfielder.
Well, my only issue with his comment is that he said these guys when I'm literally here defending Redondo. So I don't know where these guys is coming from because I wasn't a part of that. I said I thought Redondo had. I didn't say he had a spectacular man of the match type of game, but I saw him play some really good balls into the final third that created some good chances or the beginning of some good possessions.
I actually think that he handles the ball very well. Keeps it very close. He's very shifty when he handles the ball, but for what he's coming in for, what he's projected to be, right? I mean, unfortunately, like he's getting compared to his father, getting projected to go to the Premier League. Like there's a lot of things that's happening with him. Danny, we got a super duper super slam. Bang! Bang! Alejandro, thank you for the 199. Redondo is overpaid. That's the problem. What's up, Mariciahu?
Like I said, I thought that he played, like from what I saw, I thought I can go back and watch it again. Maybe those were pretty bad turnovers. Didn't the Busquets turnover lead to a goal?
Yes, that one did lead to a goal.
And you are yet to trash on Busquets for that, though.
Well, Busquets had a pretty tough game. It wasn't the best.
I thought Busquets had a pretty decent game also. He actually
had a couple
especially
steals.
Defensively. I thought defensively he had a pretty good game. That's not usually what you expect from him. Usually his
defensive is not.
Well, it's not that it's bad, but it doesn't stand out as much as his attack. And I thought he had a decent game also. But he had that one turnover that led to the goal, unfortunately.
Defensively, I thought that he was great. Defensively, I thought that he did all the right things, put himself in the right positions. He wasn't afraid to get in the mix defensively. But there were a couple plays where he did also turn the ball over too. And one of them was like a critical turnover.
Judas is asking if we want Campana back. I don't.
Well, I mean, at this point, like Obando, you kind of got him back. Like you got an Ecuadorian that also, fumbled the bag. Like he couldn't even pass it to Messi at the end.
Blake Keitlinger, we couldn't handle Bernadette. Well, the thing is that
he was on
when you leave that much space behind. Well, yeah, he is that team. But when you leave that much space behind, when Jordi Alba pushes up,
it's a wrap.
Leave Bernadeschi with all that space. I mean, he's gonna attack that space and create havoc. So, that could be a problem also.
Yeah, Andres says Drake is still looking for Bernadeschi. This guy was a savage back there. What did you think about this starting 11 before I get trampled in the chat?
I thought that it was silly to put Drake there, even though I like Drake and I've made that very clear. I thought it was
Ooh,
Drake.
you just
I
won
didn't see,
Pedri points.
I don't see what the point of putting Drake out there to start this random game. Keep Ustadi out there. But I don't know. So that I was surprised with. And then Lujan playing center back. Why is Lujan out there playing center back?
Yeah,
I
I don't like
understand the
that
whole
either.
rotation thing, but I don't know. I guess Noah Allen and Falcon are guaranteed to be the starters again on Wednesday. Redondo thing I expected. Robert Taylor on the right side. I didn't like that either. I would have put Fafa from the start.
Yeah. How about shout out to Mariela here? Come on, people. 176 watching, only 29 likes. And good question there.
He has a right foot, but his right foot is for finishing, not for crossing. So
Yeah.
him down that right side, to me, I thought that it was no bueno, and that's why they subbed him off right at half.
Yeah. He's not good from the right side, guys. Like Robert Taylor, if you think that he's useless on the left, he's double, triple useless on the right, which, by the way, I don't think that he's useless from the left.
Right. And then Stu Munoz reminding us that Lujan plays center back and right back. And I still wouldn't put him at center back, though.
There's so much competition at the center back position, Danny. Why would I want to keep
Is Dario Martinez healthy, though?
I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. He wasn't even on the bench. I don't know.
So he's not.
I mean, I don't know, man. See, this is like I said, Danny, this is a great question. Why not Gressel? Why not crossing? One word, one goal. Shout out to you. I just don't feel like he falls in favor with this team.
And we only trust crossing from the left side with Jordi Alba crossing into the top of the box, which apparently nobody is prepared for anymore.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. Like, why not have a double crossing attack? Like, you know how much more we can get from the right side if we have Gressel playing the right.
Do you really think Gressel will play well?
I think so, dude.
I'm not saying he won't. I'm asking.
No, it's a good question.
Do you think he would fit into this mix, playing the right wing with Messi because I feel like Messi waits for players from the right wing to cross in behind to kind of break that defensive line with a good through ball, right? Yeah. That's how Allende has been balling, right? Allende's been getting all those balls, and he's on the receiving end of a lot of those passes. That's not Gressel's game. What they need is somebody like Allende back, which I think Fafa is more like Allende than Gressel is like Allende. With Allende on this team looked completely different because there were people to receive those through balls. Right now, I don't. Right now, I don't. I think that's what they're missing. They're missing those line breaking runs by Allende because Robert Taylor wasn't doing that.
No,
Maki can't do that, and I think Fafa, if anybody could, I think Fafa would be able to do that. Fafa can't pass, is what Deniquo is saying.
I mean, look, but he can get in behind and be able to cross to the top of the box.
He could make a dangerous cross while he's already in a dangerous position. I think that Fafa would give you more than Robert Taylor did, which we saw, right? I think Fafa already had a decent second half. Right? You all immediately saw the difference. And Allende is the one that's shown what he can do on that right side. He can break those lines. And with Messi's hold-up play, and Suarez's hold-up play, it was working perfectly. And I think that missing that right side has really kind of hurt our attack, which hopefully he's back on Wednesday. I don't know.
Speaking of Gressel, I do think that he would make a difference. I mean, my question to you is, you don't think that he would be able to kind of alleviate the left side so we can be able to not have to rely so much on Jordi Alba and then have Bernadeschi back there doing backflips?
No, man, I don't know. I don't see Gressel fitting in here. I don't think that's what they want. They want the left side to be the attacking side. They want Segovia and Jordi Alba linking up and with the I just blanked on the overlapping runs and on the right side they just want somebody as a right winger to kind of just make those smart runs into the box and let Messi feed them.
Super slam here, Danny. Right here. Daniela is asking, do you know if Allende will play on Wednesday? And Owen, I just want to add this totally different team with Allende and Bright starting.
Absolutely. I heard that there was a possibility that he could play today, which got me excited.
Yeah.
But he didn't. My hope is that they didn't want to risk it, right? Because like I told you, if he is ready, might as well rest him for Wednesday because he's literally coming off of injury. I really do hope that he's ready to go on Wednesday because that's a game changer for us. Because once you have the top four of Suarez, Segovia, Allende, and Messi, with Busi and Bright behind them, and then Jordi Alba on left back, Ian Frey, even though I don't know if he's going to start, we can talk about that later, right back, and then you have Falcon and Noah Allen or Dotto Aviles with Ustari. Like that's a squad. And those two players right there, the Bright and Allende on this starting lineup, make a world of a difference. So,
well, let's keep it.
Like you said, Yannick Bright, when he came on, he made it immediately.
Immediate impact.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
but
man.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to talk football. Game recap, Danny. Okay. Now, we started off the game. Okay. I loved the pace. I loved the control that we had in the beginning of the game. I'm pretty sure that you saw it more from your seats than I did from the TV. I mean, we literally had, what was it? A goal called back.
Yes.
Well, yeah, in the beginning of the game. Now, how is it on your perspective with the team coming towards you? I mean, did you feel like we had a pretty good control in the game?
Yeah, no, I mean, and I knew we were going to hold possession. Toronto, although they like to hold possession, they weren't pressing the issue. They were kind of just sitting back and absorbing the attack. On that goal, they didn't show the replay.
Yeah.
Apparently, Suarez, I guess, was offside.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It was off by a shoulder, supposedly.
And
I mean,
and
you
that
could
was
see.
And that was a Segovia goal from outside the box.
Yes. Yes.
I thought it was Segovia. I couldn't remember.
It was Segovia, but it was Luis Suarez who was offsides, and it was about by a shoulder. Like he just kind of went a little too early. So,
well, when that first goal goes in, I swore that we were about to start the ass kicking, is what I thought.
Yeah,
because I could tell what Toronto was doing. Right? They were like, okay, well, we're on the road. Let's get out of here with at least a point. Let's pull out the LAFC blueprint and really crowd this box. And when we scored anyway, despite that, I got really excited. But then they called it back. But we kept creating opportunities. There was a point there where Messi had a corner. He went for an Olympico. Sean Johnson tips it over the bar. And then right back another corner, and that leads to two great shots. I forgot who the two people were that took the shots, but I remember it was two great saves by Sean Johnson. And we were on them. Like, despite them playing the compact defense in the box, we were still finding opportunities.
Yeah.
And that I thought that was great. That was making me feel really good. But again, that the first one didn't lead to a goal. And the second one, again, that one I noticed when Messi fouled the defender because it happened right in front of me. And I noticed that he did it, and I was like, oh, thank God they didn't call that. Now, unfortunately, as the play continues, we end up scoring on that same possession. I didn't think that they would call it so far back, though.
Yeah, they went back.
It happened almost like a full minute, I want to say,
yes,
before the goal. I was confused as to what they were checking, and when they said that they were checking for a foul, I honestly had forgotten about that foul until I saw the replay when I was driving home. But he did foul him. That was obvious. I just didn't think that they would call it back that far.
I thought that they called it on the following foul, not that play, because there was another play where he sort of collided with another player where it was like super soft, right? I didn't think that would have been called back. I think the whole deal with the call on Messi was, I think, because he stepped on the guy's foot, or was it like leaned into him?
When I saw it live, I thought he got the back of his shoe.
Yes, like it looked like he stepped on it, or was close to.
Right, But I didn't expect them to call it back for that. And then Christian Reyes says he was already falling. That's possible. When I saw it, I just saw that he made contact with his foot, and I was surprised. And I saw him fall. I didn't know if it was because of that or not. But when I saw him fall, and the fact that he slipped on his foot, I was like, "Holy crap! Thank God they didn't call that." And then the play continued. But again, unfortunately, we scored on that same possession, and they called it back. It's got to be wild. Right? It's go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's wild that. I don't know if anybody else, any other Inter Miami fans were expecting, right? Because everybody says, "Oh, the refs helped Miami so much." When I hear that, I'm like, I hope so. Like, I want to win. Fuck it. But like, we're not getting any help. Like, come on,
no,
help
we're
us
not
out.
getting anything.
Help us out. Nothing. I was fed this lie that you guys were gonna help us out, and I'm still waiting. When are you gonna help us?
Yeah, they've been giving us nothing all season so far.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Now, this is a good question I want to get to, and I want to get to this a little bit towards the end, but Angel with a good comment says Segovia has been meh since before leaving international break.
I also thought he was good today.
Okay, wow. And 17 Bullet says Mas Brothers want to sign Insigne.
No, absolutely not.
Boof.
No.
Look at shout out to Matt on his way home. SoFlo Soccer, let's go. And he said he saw. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I actually saw Matt today, finally for the first time. So shout out to Matt. He was out there. And he showed me where he sits. So he does sit like right by us.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm pretty sure it was the same dude that I saw, right? Like behind us to like the left, I think.
If you're looking behind us at the big screen, he's to our right.
He's to the right. Yes. Yeah. To the left of us when we're looking forward. Yeah. Shout out to Matt.
So he made contact with the foot. Whether that's the reason he fell or not, I thought that.
Yeah.
Again, I was surprised that they called it back for that reason. But whatever. There's nothing we can do.
Well, he ends up actually. Telasco Segovia gets a yellow card.
Wait. Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
Let me see. There was a point. Okay, so it wasn't. Okay, forget it. I'll take it back because they said on the big screen that on the big screen they said Tomas Aviles got a yellow card, but they said it like in the run of play, and I was like, when the hell did that happen? Yeah. I was like, and I was gonna ask you when that happened, but now I'm looking here. It doesn't show that he has a yellow card.
No, I looked all over the place. There's no yellow card
on the big screen. If you were at the game, let me know if you saw it. Also, I'm telling you, I saw that on there. They said yellow card, and the announcer said given to Tomas Aviles, and I was like, what the hell did he do again? What did he do now?
I mean, I think at this point it's just like a knee-jerk reaction. They have like a specific Aviles yellow button that they just plop, put it up.
Yeah, and they pressed it by accident. Yeah, because I wasn't sure what the hell it was. No yellow for Aviles. I'm seeing that, but I'm pretty sure I saw it at the stadium.
Yeah. But other than that, like I mentioned, they called that goal back. They called the Messi goal back, and had to be disgusting. Like after the 45th minute, the goal that Bernadeschi gets, Danny, like it was awful. That just trickled in. He's there fighting for his entire life. And it just trickles right past Drake Callender. It was awful. It was gut-wrenching. And I imagine that for Drake, like
draped all over him.
Yeah, it was wild. And I imagined right there, I said, if I'm Drake, I'd be pissed as hell right now. To get the start and you get the first goal in the game on you. So that is, and Soccer Daddy is saying it, hate for Drake is increasing today.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so? You thought he had a bad game?
Well, I mean, look, I don't think so, but I mean, he got scored on. And AZ Rebellion saying it was a bum-ass goal. It was a bum-ass goal.
You know what's funny? Goal. Every single time I saw Drake take a goal kick, or he was pressured and he gave the ball and he kind of delivered the ball out to somebody.
Yeah.
I was looking specifically for that. And more times than not, I thought they were accurate long balls. There was one in the 25th, 26th minute. I remember I even looked at the clock because I was like, I got to make sure I bring this up. That he was under pressure. I forgot who was running in.
It was a short pass.
And no, there was a long pass to Ian Frey, right on Ian Frey's chest. And I was like, I mean, I'm not saying he's great, but I was like, well, at least people can't talk about crap about that today. So
Yeah, I mean, Betty saying Drake is a hoof the ball merchant. What?
oh yeah, well, they're definitely not playing out the back with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different goalkeeper you get than Ustadi, guys.
Yeah, no, Ustadi needs to be the keeper for this team. The way this team plays, Ustadi has to be the keeper. Sean Johnson also is a great keeper, but he was having his miscues also.
Yes, he did. Now, Ustadi, I mean, Bernadeschi gets the goal. I mean, at that point, it's deflated. Like the whole stadium, my household, like we were just up in arms. That's it. Half is over. We're going to the half 1-0. And then Lionel Messi scores a beautiful kick.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and this is right off the volley. What was it? A pass from Ian Frey. Beautiful. Like, Ian Frey is so good with the ball. Beautiful pass. Messi turns. Go ahead.
And then he goes near post. It was just a beautiful finish.
Yeah, it was. And Messi was, if you could, I don't know if you could tell, but you could tell that he played a way more confident game this game than he did against LAFC. Maybe he felt like there was just a little bit more open space to work with. But
he looked really excited when he scored that goal. But I think it's because they had so many goals called back. And then after getting all those goals called back, you go down 1-0. I think you saw the excitement because it was frustrating. It was a frustrating first half with those goals called back, all those opportunities. And he was finally happy to see one go in.
So we go to the half, Danny. After Messi's goal, how did you feel about that at that point? Well, I mean, I thought that we'd still clobber them in the second half.
How many shots do you think we had in the first half?
7 or 8.
Not on target, just in general.
Oh, okay. 13.
12, close. And then on target?
Probably like 6.
5. So close.
Okay. I was over on both by 1.
We had our chances in the first half, plus the 2 that got called back. So I was feeling pretty confident. I thought that in the second half we would come out and we would win this game. I really did.
Yeah, I actually thought that we were going to clobber them in the second half because I figured to myself, Bernadeschi's going to be gassed. Insigne hasn't contributed so far in this game. Osorio has looked lost at times. If we could just kind of be decent on defense and bring in a bunch of other people that are going to be a little hyper, a little bit more intense, I think that we would have been able to clobber them second half.
In the first half, we had 65% possession. In the second half, we had 68% possession.
So we had more possession in the second half. Wow. Well, I mean, I didn't look. You sub in Fafa for Robert Taylor to start the second half. You sub in Weigand for Ian Frey at the right back position. That's to start the second half.
That's to get some life out of the right side.
That is, but it's crazy. Like I said, like how can you not look at a player like Gressel and think to yourself, I can generate a better attack with him on the right side?
You think that he would have done better than Fafa did in the second half?
I think that he would have been more effective with crossing. I don't know if he would have been better in terms of like speed, in terms of trying to get some shots against the goal. I'm
having a hard time right off the top remembering right now. Maybe people in the chat can remind me. But weren't some of those crosses that he scored off of free kicks? And I'm asking, I don't know. I think he played well, but I think in a game like this, I don't know if he makes a difference.
Well,
who's he getting crosses to?
Well, that's the problem, right? Like Luis Suarez is not the best target.
And then they had that compact defense. I don't see where. I don't know. I don't know if he would have made a difference today.
Well, like you said, they wanted to get some surgeons on the right. They put in Fafa, they put in Weigand, and we're playing. And I feel like it was super sloppy to start the second half. Really, really sloppy, and that to me screams better for Toronto because Toronto's down to just run and gun. Because there's no organization. They have nothing near what we have in terms of organization. So In the second half, it was just all over the place. Like I was watching the game with my oldest daughter. She's like, "This is a disaster. Why is it every game I watch, it's sloppy?"
Toronto in this game had 9 interceptions, 7 blocks, 19 clearances, and Sean Johnson had 7 saves.
Yeah, Sean Johnson was a beast. Sean Johnson was a killer.
But Miami was the better team today. They just didn't get the win. It happens. Yeah. It's football.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of shots, though. We end up getting Obando in the 69th minute. You asked how many minutes he played. He played 20 plus. 20 plus.
And he had a great opportunity. Before he came in. Suarez had a great opportunity. Yes. Where it almost looked like an open netter. It's just the ball like bounced right before it hit his foot, and he just couldn't get it on. And you saw it in his face how he couldn't believe it.
Yes.
So,
I mean, look at
opportunities, man.
At the end, Messi crossed beautifully to Fafa. Fafa had an opportunity towards the end. He could have blasted it to the back of the net. And I couldn't even believe that Messi was able to get it to him with that play. I mean, Elizabeth is saying Suarez froze. And she hates to see it because she loves Suarez. But I mean, there were 3 plays literally that could have been buckets. And Upcode is saying, "Yep, Fafa faffed it." That was really bad. And that was at the end. Like what, 89th minute? That could have iced it.
And Suarez had one where in the first half where he was coming down the left side and he had Segovia to his left. And I felt like he had a chance to cross it. I think if he crosses it, he leaves it off to Segovia. Segovia crosses it to Messi because Messi was unmarked down the other side. This definitely wasn't one of Suarez's better games. That's without a doubt.
No, it wasn't. Absolutely not. And Mariela is asking what happened with Baltasar Rodriguez. As far as we know, he was having some visa issues. Obando was able to clear that up, I guess, and he's been a little bit more active with the team. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see Baltasar in about a week. I don't think we're going to see him against LAFC, to be honest.
No,
it's a little too early for that.
I was about to say I wouldn't put him in a game like that just right off the bat anyway. But we've seen it happen before. Remember when Tata just randomly threw Diego Gomez in the U.S. Open Cup final? He hadn't played in like a month.
Yeah. Well, Federico Redondo came out. Yannick Bright came in for him at the 78th minute. Santi Morales comes in for Telasco Segovia, same time, 78th minute. And, I mean, there was a lot of back and forth towards the end of the game. We had extra 5 minutes in the game until basically we finished in a tie. And that was the match with Jordi Alba bitching to the ref at the end, complaining. So, AZ Rebellion, do you know how much Baltasar is going to help us? Because, like, we said the same thing about Segovia, and Segovia has been kind of mad to me in the last couple games.
I thought Segovia played good today.
And this is a fair assessment right here. Dennis Lopez, he says, Fafa, Suarez, and Obando all failed miserably with good opportunities. Yeah.
But the important thing here is that they got the opportunities, in my opinion. That's what I think is important. Yeah. We're gearing up we're gearing up for Wednesday. Like Solana said, there's no such thing as must-win games in April. Well, but there is a must-win game this Wednesday. So, I'm feeling good about Wednesday.
I mean, look, AZ Rebellion is saying he had an assist because Segovia had an assist. The assist wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't Segovia. It was Ian Frey that had the assist. No?
I was watching it in my car. I couldn't tell you. No, it was Segovia.
It was Segovia. Well, I mean, it's listed as Segovia. So was the goal that counted the Segovia assist, or was it the Ian Frey assist?
But it obviously wasn't the Ian Frey one.
Okay. All right. It was the Segovia assist. Okay. Got it.
All right. Well, Chris, how are you feeling after the game?
I don't feel good. Tying with Toronto. If I would have told you We tie with Toronto before this game. Would you have felt good about that? The
Depends on
worst
how we
team in the
looked.
East.
Depends on how we looked. I thought we looked like the far better team. We had a lot of opportunities. We just couldn't finish.
Ooh, Alejandro saying LAFC lost today.
Yeah, but I think that they really did some heavy rotation, I believe.
Angel is saying it felt like a loss. Sean is saying, I told you it would be tied 1-1. And Elizabeth saying, I'm worried for Wednesday. And Mr. Krabs saying, feeling like shit, feels like a loss. We tied to the worst team in the league. This is not a good feeling, Danny. I mean, Owen, I see what you're doing here. You're trying to save the group here. It's not a disaster. But listen, this feels like a loss, okay?
No,
and Soccer Daddy speaks it. Tie is loss. You don't know how upset my oldest daughter was. She's like, I can't believe it's going to be a tie. I wasted all my time. I said, you're definitely my daughter. So
no, I didn't think I'm disagreeing with a lot of these comments. I don't think it was as bad as you guys are saying. We had a lot of opportunities. If it would have looked like we did against LAFC, where we just couldn't create anything, we had opportunities. Yeah, you want to finish them. I get it. We finished 2 of them, but they both got called back. You know, I think that I'm not as worried as everybody else is.
Owen is saying not our best 11.
He's not.
Blake Keitlinger says we need to dominate Wednesday.
We need to win by 2 or more.
Yeah, and Angel saying if we play like this against LAFC, we're getting eliminated. Boof. Look, I on East Review without money. Look, I want to mention something because you said please don't say a negative every time. You don't know how they feel. I know that as a competitor, if you're playing a game, you want to win every single time, right? Now, at the end, you could tell that the players didn't feel like happy for this tie. Like they didn't feel like this tie was justified.
Because when you're the better team, when you feel like you should have won, of course you're going to be disappointed because they should have won this game.
If you would have told me that we tied against a caliber of like, I don't know, like Philly, like Charlotte, like one of those teams, I'd say okay, that's fair. I'll take it.
Right, but you don't know how this team's going to look by that. But by the end of the year, that might look different. Toronto might end up in the playing game after they get done with this gauntlet of good teams that they've been playing against.
Messi was upset, Owen.
Of course, they should have won this game. They were the far superior team. They had 2 goals called back.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, I'm not as worried as everybody else. We got a point. I understand that it's at home. You want to get 3, but you got a point. You didn't lose. Well, and again, and you move on to the important game, which is Wednesday.
Yeah, and Xavier's already looking a month ahead. San Jose, they just clobbered 6-1 DC United today.
San Jose's okay. They're not that great.
From what I saw, Joseph Martinez got a hat trick.
He did. That's their third win of the season. This is their 3rd win of the season, Chris. They played 7 games.
They're getting goals.
Oh, okay.
They're getting goals.
Sure.
They're getting
They
goals.
won 3 games. Let's just relax. They won 3 games.
Who's your standout, Danny? Who are the standouts for you?
Standouts.
I'll put up the starting 11 here if you want to work off that.
Well, I thought Messi, as pointless it is to say, I thought Messi was balling. I thought Segovia had a good game. The standout? I don't know. Definitely not Suarez. Definitely not Robert Taylor. I thought Busquets also had a pretty good game, even though he had probably the most crucial mistake.
I think Toto Avila stood out to me. And I think also
especially since he didn't get a card.
Yes. And I feel like he played pretty disciplined. And I feel like Ian Frey also was a standout to me. He progressed the ball when he had the opportunity to do so. And he played good defense when it was necessary. So I'm going to give it to those 2 guys over on the right side playing defense.
And then
Those are my
Elizabeth,
standouts.
Elizabeth, I'm with you. So
Okay.
I
So
thought
was
I
he a
thought Redondo,
standout to you?
I wouldn't say a standout, but I thought he had a decent game.
Okay. All right. So
Oh,
then,
Yannick Bright.
okay. All right. That's good. He's
He
not up
scored
here, but
immediately.
oh, of course. I mean, he gets subbed in. What is it? 80 minutes or 70? What is it? 78th minute. He plays 12 plus, 16 minutes in the match, 17 minutes.
Now the thing is, because again, I was driving, so I couldn't fully focus. But when the announcers help you know when you have to look. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, I think it was Bernadeschi or Insigne." Oh, you could hear the announcers like, "Oh, they're like hyping up for a big play." As soon as I looked down, nope, Bright took it away.
Yeah.
And then he gave it away. We gave it away back. Oh no, Bright got it back. I was like, Jesus Christ, this man's a monster.
In one play, he had three steals. Now he pushed it ahead, and with his heavy step, lost it. Because I know somebody in the comments commented like, "Oh man, his first step was like heavy." He just finished stealing it 3 times.
Well, that's where the difference between him and Redondo is. So that's why
Redondo handles the ball better for sure.
Yeah. They would probably work well together, right? Redondo and Bright as the double pivot, but you have Busquets. That's why Redondo's the odd man out.
I feel like if the time ever does come that they do play good together, and Bright plays further back and Redondo plays further up, I feel like it can work out because you have your defensive-minded center midfielder, you have your offensive-minded up, and I think it's going to be great in that situation.
Yeah. Henry said that he waited for Obando, but now he regrets it. No, well, it's the first game. It's the first game, man. Like I'm sure that he was even surprised when he ended up with the ball. Like how old is he? Is he 18 or 20? Like he's
like
young.
a baby. He's a baby.
Gotta give him some slack.
Yeah, he's a baby.
Obando is 18. He's 18.
18. Yeah, no, he looked like a baby for
he's
sure.
18. Mm-hmm. There you go. Soccer Daddy Mike V just confirmed also. Yeah, he's 18.
Yeah.
Francisco also.
So, qué pena. So, who gets the Campena Award or the Que Crema Award?
Today, you got to give it to Suarez. I think he had the game-winning goal right there, and he blew it.
Well, you gave it to a whole. You give it to like a whole lineup or like a whole last game. What was it? You said there was
Mascherano.
Yeah, you gave it to Mascherano. I'm giving it to the whole I'm giving it to the whole striker unit. I'm giving it to Obando, to Suarez, and I'll add Fafa into the mix.
You're gonna throw Obando in there?
Yeah, dude, he had it. He had it on a platter. First of all,
no, he didn't have a platter. No, he didn't.
He had it.
First of all, no, I refuse. I don't even want to hear what you're gonna say. That defender came and gave him the body. Obando is like, he has to be like 80 pounds.
I have a question.
He is skinny as hell. He got bodied. I understand. He's 18. It's the first chance he gets. Come on.
So he had this. So he got the ball. It was loose, right? He got it far from the top of the box. If he would have just tried to blast it over Sean Johnson, I think he could have made it. Okay.
Some people are saying, I was driving, so I only saw some of it. I couldn't focus.
And
people are saying
Messi
that he could have passed it to Messi. Okay,
absolutely.
That I didn't see.
So not only did he have an opportunity to sail it over Sean Johnson, but he ended up doing the campana thing where instead of taking it to his right foot, he kicks it to his left, right? But then you have Messi wide open to your right. What are you doing?
What sucks is that it's going to be hard for me to see the replay right now. I'd have to go back and watch the game because then I'm going to show it like on a random Twitter highlight. But look, if he had the chance to pass it to Messi, that sucks, I guess. But I wouldn't say that I'd give him the Que Pena award. No, I wouldn't do that.
I'm not going to count Taylor. I'm not, just in case for you guys talking about me flaming Obando, but I'm protecting Bum Taylor. I'm not going to do Taylor because I knew he was going to be a ghost on the right side. Even though he did play like a bum. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't get my Que Pena award.
All right.
He didn't have a clear opportunity on goal.
So I gave it to Mascherano last game, I gave it to Suarez this game because he had that sitter, and in the first half, he also had a chance to create someplace. But so man of the match, other than Messi.
I'm gonna give it to Yannick Bright. Because if it wasn't for Yannick Bright, we probably would have gotten scored on at the end. That's as simple as it is.
Okay, I can see that.
I'll bring up the starting 11 and see if that'll rack your brain. I mean, you had Santi Morales that came in, Obando that came in, Fafa.
Man, I don't see anybody that would give a man of the match to. And I try not to give it to the same person you do.
You had Weigand that also came in. Weigand actually had a pretty decent game.
I kind of want to go with what Soccer Daddy said. Messi is the man of the match other than Messi anyway, just because I felt like he was the whole team today. I really did feel like he was everything today.
This is man of the match other than Messi, Jack Hart, please.
I'll give it to Busquets. I'll give it to Busquets. I thought Busquets had a good game, even though he did have a bad turnover. I thought he also had some crucial defensive balls won. He had a couple good passes that led to everything. So, yes, and they had 2 shots that went off the post. 2 shots. But, yeah, I'm going to go Busquets. Or the crossbar. The crossbar is Rick is not that far off with the crossbar.
Yeah, that's Sean Johnson's best friend. If you guys watch Battered MLS podcast.
Yeah. I was on the Sean Johnson watch. Because I was with my son, I was trying not to yell at him.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
my God. I would have flamed him. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. And Pedri says, thank you, Danny, for some level-headed responses.
Pedri only agrees with me when we're not talking La Liga. When we start talking Real Madrid, he hates me.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. I guess we've gone through absolutely everything. Usually, like we've said in the past, when we do shows on Sunday nights, we do not do one on Monday. So we'll be back on Tuesday to preview the LAFC game against Miami here in Miami. Tomorrow night, we will be back with Las Garzas at 10 o'clock, though. So if you listen to us in Spanish, Las Garzas will be back tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. But we will be back for English Battered Herons on Tuesday with a preview of the second leg. Do we want to do a preview of the preview, Chris? We're going to have Eric back.
Yeah.
And I don't, maybe it's because it's so far off, but I have a feeling by Tuesday I'm going to start getting a little nervous.
About the game.
Yeah, because this isn't a good look. Like, think about it.
You're telling me not to panic. You're telling me not to be critical of this team.
Today's game. But when you look at the circumstances for Wednesday, we literally have to win by 2 goals.
Yeah.
That's not an easy task, especially when the team that's playing against you knows that you have to score 2 goals. I'm just going to defend for my life. If you get 1 in, all right, well, I'm still alive.
Well, I mean, I don't think that we're going to have any. I mean, if there's any team that I think.
This is what pisses me off. Look at this. Look what MK just wrote. 2-1.
2-1, and we're out.
How much?
Those are for all of you aggregate lovers.
No, it's the away goal. It's so dumb. I'm going to talk to Xavier about that. Xavier, we do Las Garzas with Xavier. Xavier loves the away goal rule. I want to say Solana does also, but I'm not 100% sure. But Xavier, I know I've had that argument with Xavier. And we're going to have that argument again tomorrow because he said, oh, I love the strategies that you had, that the teams have to come out with. What strategies? Defend? Come on, man. I hate this. I hate the away goal. It's so dumb. That's why they got rid of it in Europe. They got to get rid of it over here also. And people are saying zero confidence. It's not zero confidence. It's the fact that it's difficult. Oh.
Sean loves it.
Xavier Pennies, what's better? How about you just give me 2-leg aggregate and whoever wins scores more goals wins? That sounds good. Just give me that. Just a regular aggregate. Whoever scores more goals moves on. That sounds like it should be good.
Yeah, I mean, Sean, you're not sitting well with Dennis Lopez.
So,
well, look, Pedri saying away goals have so many historic moments in Europe.
That is true. It has given us for some fun moments. I remember the one PSG against Barcelona. I want to say in 2016, maybe. That was memorable because Barcelona was creeping, and then PSG scored another away goal, and it made it to the odds even more difficult for them to catch up. But they went ahead and they won anyway. Like I remember. But regardless, I'd rather it not be that way. Make it simple. Make it just straightforward. Whoever scores more.
And one goal asking moment of the match, Danny and Chris. I'll tell you, watching from the TV, there was a play where Messi was literally fending off like 3 defenders towards the second. It was in the second half. Literally defenders pulling and pushing at him. He still was playing on, and then the ref blew the whistle. That was my moment of the match. 3 people could not be able to contain the GOAT known as Messi.
Again, the second half I watched with one eye in my ears, so hard. So I'll go with a personal one. I want my 5-year-old son, and he's still not fully into the sport. I'm trying to get him into it little by little. So what I did today was I made a little deal with him before the game started because I wanted him to be engaged. I said, you're going to get a toy for every goal that Inter Miami scores. And boy, was he in it. There was at one point where they were working the ball across. He's like, the goal is right here. The goal is right here. Why are you kicking it over there? And so it was an overall just moment for me. I'll remember today because today was the first time that I went to the game with my son that he was fully engaged. He might have been annoying the people around him, though, because he wouldn't shut up. He just kept yelling at, like, he's like, guys, what the hell are you doing? The goal is right here. So, yes. And Ruita said manipulator. Absolutely. That's how I get my kids into all the sports. I tell them, if this team wins, you get ice cream. And there we go. So today was a special just because it was the first time that I listened to my son fully engaged, just watching every kick. So it was really cool for me.
That's very awesome. That's an awesome story.
Mm-hmm.
Pedri Potter saying Taylor getting substituted is his moment of the match. Good job, buddy. Let's go to a super slam here, Danny, before I blow my brains out. Dark Low, thank you for the 199, buddy. Only Messi wanted to win that game.
He was playing that way, that's for sure. Yes, that's for sure. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so quick final thoughts, Chris, before we head out of here.
No, man, I'm scared. That was a terrifying game. I'm terrified. We tied against Toronto. I'm
terrified for Wednesday, but not because of today. And I'm sure we'll get into more of that on Tuesday, especially with Eric, because I'm sure Eric's probably happy, but also nervous, right? So it should be an interesting conversation on Tuesday.
He has the advantage.
Yeah. So we'll see. Well, but right, everybody's but we're playing away. We should be able to win though. We have to, because if we get eliminated, man, it's gonna be really I don't even want to think about it yet. Yeah. All right. If you are listening on, and Sean's asking Battered MLS when. Just so you know, Sean, and everybody listening, Battered MLS Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Tuesdays we do the recaps. Wednesdays we do the roundtables, but we've been having a hard time doing that because Inter Miami's been playing their Champions Cup games on Wednesdays, so we've kind of stopped those. They'll start again next Wednesday, and then Thursday we do the predictions, right? Where we just go ahead and just gas bag about who we think is going to win and why. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is Battered MLS. If anybody wants to join us. All right. If you are listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, other good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And as always, for those of you in the chat, even David Day, we appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour. And we'll be back tomorrow, Las Garzas at 10 o'clock, Tuesday, Battered Fans, and Tuesday after that, Battered MLS. So we'll catch you guys on all of those. So, and Richard, oh, you joined me at the very end. Richard. Our friends in Toronto. I can't believe my awful Toronto FC for a point. Yep, that's it. You guys took one. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a great night. So until the next one, have a good one.